That's the tunnel. When we go up there closer, it's pretty daunting. And there are ghosts in there, without doubt.
My heart's beating a little bit faster now because we're just at the base of this tunnel now and I actually can't see the end of it. What did you find when you came out here for the first time?
We caught 3 really good voices. I think they all sounded like female voices too, weren't they?
Well, one of the tools that we use as a paranormal investigator is a digital voice recorder. So the whole purpose of this is we'll play the recorder, we'll talk just as we are talking now, and then when we play the recorder back, more often than not we catch voices that weren't there at the time, which can't be explained.
Best one we caught, it said, "Come closer," and that was a really eerie whisper. It was really strange, and with the video camera I actually got surround sound, so I could actually tell that it was actually coming from in front of the camera and there was nothing physically in front of the camera. It wasn't until 3, 4, 5 days later when we actually review it, and then the hair stands up on the back of your neck when you actually get to hear it.
Shall we have a little bit of a walk?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh God. Okay.
There are a few stories that I've heard circulating about this tunnel, that there were a few deaths when a train was coming through here. They all suffocated while on the train.
There's definitely something here. We're catching the voices. Why they're here, they're not telling us.
How does a carpenter and a builder end up doing this sort of stuff, getting involved with the paranormal?
So it was actually our wives that first picked up on it, and we've been mates for years and years and years and never really quite knew that we were both into this. And it sort of spurred from there. We got together and thought, well, hey, let's go out and start investigating some of these locations around Perth that are reputably haunted.
Not a week goes by that we don't sort of get an ask if we would like to go to a new location or to their place. They may have something happening in the home and they want to know what it is and why it's doing it to them.
So this is another device, the SB7 Spirit Box. So it's transferring through radio frequencies very fast. Now, we're inside the tunnel here, so there's no reason whatsoever that it will pick up the radio. There's just no signal here to pick up the radio. So you can imagine if a voice comes through and answers one of my questions, it's definitely in our opinion, it's a spirit manipulating the device. It's a device that's used widely in the paranormal field. Is anyone here that would like to speak with us? Yeah, I heard a knock behind me then, right over here.
Oh.
Did you hear that?
No, what did you hear?
Just a little tap, just to the left here.
And you both picked that up?
Yeah, a bit of movement. When you do catch that bit of evidence, it sort of makes it all worth it. You sort of go, it's like you're working for hours for that to happen and then go, what the hell was that? Very recently we were at the Fremantle Roundhouse and Darren and I went into one of the cells and we hear footsteps on the roof above us, like boots walking on timber. No one's there. We're the only ones in the roundhouse. Nobody is there. Caught it on my recorder. It will be in our video when we release it. And we're talking to one of the tour guides there afterwards. And the story that we were told is there used to be a doorway on the side of the second story where they could actually walk on the roof. So we believe that's something called residual energy. It's something that happened in those days. We're catching that noise. And that's probably what spurs our interest on the most with historical locations is getting that residual energy. It's almost like it's soaked into the environment of the building.
And so what's on the cards next for paranormal hunters?
Well, we're trying to get down to Albany Jail. Fremantle Arts Centre would be a fantastic place to get into. We've heard a lot of stories that it's supposedly the most haunted place in the Southern Hemisphere.
On that note, shall we turn around?
Let's do it. I think the only time I've ever been slightly unnerved was at the quarantine station.
Yeah, you're right.
We brought the president through. She still works there as voluntary, and her grandfather was actually a nurse there back in the early 1900s. And we decided to bring her in there because she's actually got a bit of she's linked to that place. She's been there for so long and she's got family there and whatnot. And she actually got touched, and It really scared her at first until
Touched where?
She got touched on the shoulder. It was actually a very deliberate hand on the shoulder. But it made me think that at the time, I actually don't want to be touched now. I got a bit worried. Like, there's something that's funny. Like, you want it to happen, you keep wanting it to happen, and it never happens. And then all of a sudden, someone gets it to happen beside you, and I'm like, oh, actually, now I don't know if I actually do want it to happen to me. So it actually creeped me out for the first time out of all these many, many times we've investigated.
We're just back towards the entrance of the tunnel now. There's a bit of a body of stagnant water here and not much light out there tonight either. It's sort of just on the back of a new moon.
There's one reason why we do it in the dark, and it's simply because everyone else is in bed and it's quiet. If the spirit wants to come out, it'll come out in the middle of the day if it wants to.
I think one of the big main drivers too is we're searching for WA's history. Like a lot of these places that we're getting into and going, we've never been there before. So we're actually searching for WA's history as we go along. There's stories that just need to be told.